First contact complications. Ambassador Veller gazed through the viewing portal of his ship, the Celestial Envoy, as the small blue planet grew larger against the backdrop of stars. Earth, the latest in a long line of developing worlds he'd been tasked with evaluating for the Galactic Confederation. After 8 centuries as the Confederation's premier diplomatic envoy, Veller had seen it all. 17 successful first contacts, 32 trade agreements, and 14 planetary inductions into the Confederation. His silver-tinged skin rippled with faint bioluminescent patterns, a sign of mild anticipation, nothing more. This would be routine. Ambassador, we'll achieve stable orbit in 20 minutes, said Tila, his assistant. Her 6-fingered hands danced over the holographic controls. The preliminary scans confirm what we already knew. They've barely achieved rudimentary space travel, still burn fossil fuels, and continue engaging in territorial conflicts. Veller's facial ridges contracted slightly. The Council was quite clear. Observe for 1 standard cycle, assess their development trajectory, and provide recommendations. Nothing more. Yes, Ambassador, though Council Leader Mex did express concerns about their unpredictability. The observation satellites have recorded behaviors that don't follow standard evolutionary patterns. Veller dismissed this with a flick of his wrist. Every species believes itself unique, Tela. They all follow the same fundamental development paths. Humans are no different. The ship settled into high orbit, cloaking technology rendering it invisible to Earth's primitive detection systems. For 3 days, Veller observed from orbit, studying broadcasts, data networks, and surveillance feeds. The Confederation's long-range monitoring had been ongoing for decades, but nothing compared to direct assessment. On the 4th day, Veller prepared for closer observation. I'll take the diplomatic shuttle for atmospheric insertion. Maintain orbital position and communication protocols. The target landing zone has been selected, Tela reported. A remote area in what they call Montana. Minimal population density, suitable for cloaked observation. The shuttle detached smoothly from the Celestial Envoy. Veller sat alone in the cockpit, monitoring the descent trajectory. His species' advanced neural pathways allowed him to process multiple information streams simultaneously: atmospheric composition, weather patterns, and nearby human activities. The shuttle had just entered the mesosphere when multiple alarms blared. The control panel flickered, holographic displays distorting. Status report. Veller commanded the ship's eye. Critical failure in the anti-gravity stabilizers. Unknown electromagnetic interference is affecting primary systems. Cloaking field destabilizing. Veller's hands moved rapidly over the emergency controls. This was unprecedented. Confederation technology didn't simply fail. The shuttle began to shake violently as it plummeted through the atmosphere. Engage emergency landing protocols, he ordered, fighting to maintain control. Unable to comply. Manual control only. For the first time in centuries, Veller felt something approaching fear. The ground was approaching rapidly, a landscape of mountains and forests filling the view screen. He managed to direct the shuttle toward a small clearing, but the impact was inevitable and harsh. The crash threw him forward against the restraints. Pain lanced through his left leg as a section of the control panel collapsed onto it. Blue fluid, his blood, spattered across the cockpit. The last thing he saw before losing consciousness was the emergency beacon blinking red, inactive. No distress signal had been sent. Veller awoke to unfamiliar sensations: cool air on his skin, the smell of coniferous vegetation, and a sharp, throbbing pain in his leg. Night had fallen. His ship lay in ruins around him, a smoldering wreck of advanced technology now reduced to useless debris. His leg was pinned beneath a twisted shard of the ship's hull, the bone clearly fractured. With effort, he reached for the emergency medical kit, only to find it crushed beyond use. The situation was dire. His team wouldn't know he had crashed. The shuttle's communication systems were destroyed. The nearest emergency teleportation pad was on the Celestial Envoy, unreachable without a functional communicator. In 800 years of diplomatic service, Vaylor had never faced such a predicament. He was stranded on a primitive world, injured, with no way to contact his ship. A sound from the forest edge captured his attention. Voices. Human voices. Vaylor froze. First contact protocols were explicit, controlled, carefully staged meetings with selected world leaders only. Never random encounters, especially not when injured and vulnerable. Flashlight beams cut through the darkness, illuminating the wrecked shuttle and Vaylor's silver-skinned form. "Holy shit!" a deep voice exclaimed. "Dad, are you seeing this?" 3 humans emerged into the clearing. An older male, a younger male, and a female. The family resemblance was clear even to Vaylor's foreign eyes. They wore simple outdoor clothing and carried what appeared to be camping equipment. "Stay back, Alex," the older male said to the younger one, putting his arm out protectively. "Sarah, call for help." The female, Sarah, already had a communication device in her hand, but she wasn't using it. She was staring at Vaylor, her expression showing not fear, but something else. Concern. "Dad, look at its leg," she said quietly. "It's hurt." "It could be dangerous," the father warned, but his voice lacked conviction. Vaylor assessed his options. He could remain silent, following protocol by minimizing interaction. Or he could speak. His neural implant had already analyzed enough of their language from broadcasts to communicate. The decision was made for him when a fresh wave of pain caused him to grimace visibly. "We can't just leave it here suffering," Sarah said, already moving forward. "Sarah," her father hissed, but she ignored him. She approached slowly, hands visible, a universal sign of non-aggression that Vaylor recognized. "Can you understand me?" she asked clearly. Vaylor hesitated, then nodded. Yes. His voice was melodic, with an unusual harmonizing undertone. The humans froze momentarily. Then Sarah continued her approach. "You're injured. Your leg is trapped. We want to help." This defied everything Vaylor had been taught about primitive species. The expected response was fear, aggression, or immediate summoning of military forces, not compassion. "Sarah, this is crazy," her father said, but he too was approaching now. "We need to call authorities." "And what will they do, Dad?" Sarah challenged. "Lab tests. Military quarantine. Look at it. At him. He's hurt." The younger male, Alex, had been silent, but now stepped forward. "I can help lift that metal piece. I've got the emergency kit from our campsite." Vaylor watched in disbelief as the 3 humans worked together to free his leg. The father eventually helped Alex lift the metal while Sarah examined the injury. "It's definitely broken," she said. "I'm pre-med, but this is a bit outside my training." She smiled at Vaylor, an expression he understood from his studies as meant to be reassuring. "But the basics should be the same. We need to immobilize it." They fashioned a splint from materials in their kit and branches from nearby trees. The pain was intense when they set the bone, but Vaylor maintained his composure. "Thank you," he said when they had finished. "Your assistance was unexpected." "What's your name?" Alex asked, curiosity overcoming caution. "I am called Vaylor. I am an ambassador of the Galactic Confederation." The father looked troubled. "I'm Michael Reynolds. These are my children, Sarah and Alex. You crashed your spacecraft." Vaylor nodded. "A malfunction. Unexpected. I must contact my ship." "Your ship is still up there." Michael pointed skyward. "With more of your kind?" "Yes. They will be concerned by my failure to report." Sarah was examining the wreckage. "Your communications are destroyed, aren't they?" "Yes. And without them, I cannot signal my location." The family exchanged glances, having some kind of unspoken communication that Vaylor couldn't interpret. "We can help you," Sarah finally said. "Our cabin is about 2 miles from here. You can rest there, and we might be able to rig something up to boost a signal." "Sarah, Michael cautioned. We need to think about what this means. An alien. The government. We can't just leave him here, Dad, she insisted. He's injured, alone on a strange planet. Michael sighed, then nodded reluctantly. Can you walk? He asked Velar. With assistance, yes. Velar attempted to stand, accepting Michael's offered support. The splint held, though pain shot through his leg with each movement. As they slowly made their way through the forest, Velar found himself bombarded with questions from Alex about his world, his species, the Confederation. Despite protocol dictating minimal information sharing, Velar found himself answering. There was something disarming about the young human's eager curiosity. The cabin was simple but comfortable by human standards. They settled Velar on a couch, providing water and offering food, which he politely declined, explaining his different biological needs. So what happens now? Michael asked once Velar was settled. Are your people going to come looking for you? Eventually, yes. But without a signal, they will have difficulty locating me precisely. And if they can't find you, what will they do? Velar hesitated. Standard protocol for a lost diplomatic mission would be to sterilize the area to prevent technology contamination. The room went silent. Sterilize, Michael repeated. You mean destroy? A precision orbital strike. Minimal radius, but effective. Sarah looked horrified. They'd kill us, just like that. The Confederation has strict protocols regarding technological contamination of developing worlds. Velar's bioluminescent patterns darkened with discomfort. Though I disagree with such measures. Then we need to contact your ship, Michael said firmly, before they take drastic action. My shuttle contained a quantum communicator. If you could retrieve it, I can do it. Alex volunteered immediately. Just tell me what it looks like. Before they could formulate a plan, the distant sound of helicopters reached them. Michael went to the window, peering out. Military, he said grimly. They must have detected the crash. Velar's patterns flashed with alarm. If your military forces secure my shuttle, it could complicate matters significantly. Sarah was already gathering supplies. We need to move. Our old hunting cabin deeper in the woods. They won't find us there. I won't put you at risk, Velar protested. Your government will consider you traitors for aiding me. Michael looked at his children, then back at Velar. His expression hardened with resolve. Too late for that. We're already involved. Besides, sounds like the alternative is an orbital strike. So I think we'll take our chances with you. As the helicopter sounds grew closer, they quickly gathered essential supplies. Michael helped Velar to his feet again, supporting his weight. Why? Velar asked softly as they hurried toward the back door. Why help me at such risk to yourselves? Michael glanced at him, surprise evident in his expression. Because you need help. Isn't that enough? Velar had no answer. In 8 centuries of diplomatic service to technologically superior civilizations, he had never encountered such a simple, profound response. As they disappeared into the forest, evading the approaching military forces, the ambassador found himself reevaluating everything he thought he knew about this supposedly primitive species. The ambassador's revelation. For 3 days, Velar and the Reynolds family remained hidden at the remote hunting cabin. The military had established a perimeter around the crash site, their vehicles and personnel visible occasionally through Michael's binoculars. News reports on their small battery-powered radio spoke of a possible meteoroid impact and a scientific investigation, but nothing about alien technology. In that time, Velar's physiology had begun healing his broken leg. His species recovered from injuries far faster than humans, but something else was happening too. Something unprecedented in his centuries of diplomatic work. He was beginning to see humans differently. Sarah spent hours asking about Confederation medicine, absorbing complex concepts with remarkable speed. Alex's mechanical aptitude proved extraordinary as he worked to repair Velar's damaged quantum communicator, which Michael had retrieved in a daring nighttime mission to the crash site. And Michael himself displayed a pragmatic wisdom that reminded Veller of Confederation Council members, those who had lived for centuries, not mere decades. Your species is perplexing, Veller admitted on the third evening as they sat around the cabin's small fireplace. His leg was propped on a makeshift ottoman, nearly healed. You lack so much, yet accomplish so much. What do you mean? Sarah asked. Your lifespans are brief, your body's fragile, your technology primitive. Yet you demonstrate capacities for learning, adaptation, and emotional intelligence that rival species far more advanced. Michael chuckled. Thanks, I think. It was meant as a compliment, Veller assured him. The Confederation evaluates species based on technological development, resource management, and social stability. By those metrics, humanity would be considered at least 3 centuries from consideration for contact. But you're here now, Alex pointed out, looking up from the communicator components spread across the table. Accidental first contact. Yes, which presents a diplomatic challenge. My mission was observation only. So what happens now? Sarah asked. Your people think you're dead. Earth governments are looking for you, and we're harboring an alien fugitive. Veller's bioluminescent patterns rippled with amusement. An accurate assessment. If Alex can repair the communicator, I can contact my ship, but then decisions must be made about how to proceed. Alex held up a small crystalline device, glowing faintly. I think I've got it working. Your technology is incredible. It's like it wants to be fixed. Confederation technology is semi-organic. It can guide its own repair if given the proper stimulus. Veller took the device. You have a natural aptitude that would be valued among our engineers. The compliment made Alex beam with pride. Veller activated the communicator, and a holographic display sprang to life above it. He quickly entered a series of commands, his 6 fingers moving deftly across the light patterns. Veller to Celestial Envoy, he said formally. Emergency Protocol 19. The display flickered, then stabilized to show Tella's concerned face. Ambassador, you're alive. We detected the shuttle crash, but could find no trace of you. I was injured and assisted by locals, he explained, angling the communicator so Tella could see the humans. Her expression registered shock. You've made direct contact. This violates protocol. Yes, Veller interrupted. Circumstances necessitated adaptation. I require extraction and have a recommendation regarding Earth's status. Tella hesitated, then nodded. The Council has been informed of your situation. They're concerned about contamination. Sterilization protocols have been discussed. The humans tensed at these words. That will not be necessary, Veller said firmly. I'm invoking my authority as senior ambassador to override standard protocols. Earth requires comprehensive reassessment. The Council won't like this, Veller. The Council isn't here. I am. And I have seen things that our remote observations missed. His tone left no room for argument. Arrange a secure extraction for myself and 3 humans. They will serve as Earth representatives in preliminary discussions. After the communication ended, the cabin was silent for a long moment. Did you just invite us to your spaceship? Alex finally asked, eyes wide. I did, if you're willing. Michael looked troubled. Won't that cause problems? For you, I mean. Almost certainly, Veller admitted. But I believe it necessary. Your family has demonstrated qualities that the Confederation needs to understand about humanity. Sarah leaned forward. What happens after we go to your ship? We can't just disappear without explanation. Once aboard, we will need to contact your world governments. Controlled first contact has become necessary. And if your council disagrees? Michael asked perceptively. Veller's patterns darkened. Then I will face consequences. But I believe this is the correct path. The extraction occurred at dawn. A small craft, different from Veller's crashed shuttle, descended silently into the clearing beside the cabin. 2 Confederation security officers emerged, clearly shocked at seeing humans so close to Veller, but professional enough not to comment. Aboard the Celestial Envoy, the Reynolds family tried to contain their awe at the advanced technology surrounding them. They were given quarters and medical examinations, treated with cautious respect by the crew. Velar, meanwhile, faced the Confederation Council via holographic communication. "Ambassador, your actions are unprecedented and unauthorized," Council leader Mex declared, his ancient face set in disapproving lines. "You've exposed 3 primitives to advanced technology, brought them aboard a Confederation vessel, and now propose accelerated contact protocols." "Yes," Velar said simply. "My experiences have convinced me that standard assessment metrics are inadequate for understanding Earth's potential." "These humans saved you," another council member observed. "Perhaps gratitude is clouding your judgment." "My judgment is clear," Velar countered. "Humanity displays remarkable qualities. Their capacity for altruism extends beyond kin and even species boundaries. Their adaptability and problem-solving abilities are exceptional. And most importantly, they possess a quality rare among spacefaring civilizations: empathy combined with determination." Emotional arguments, Mex dismissed. "The facts remain. They wage wars, destroy ecosystems, and can barely reach their own moon. With respect, Leader Mex, you're applying metrics that don't capture their true potential. The Reynolds family risked military prosecution to help me, not for reward or advantage, but because it was, in their words, the right thing to do." The debate continued for hours, Velar advocating passionately for humanity, while the Council cited statistics, historical precedents, and regulations. Finally, an ultimatum was issued. Velar must return the humans, withdraw to observe-only status, and submit to disciplinary review. Velar stood silent for a long moment. 8 centuries of loyal service weighed against his recent experiences. "I decline," he said finally. The council chamber erupted in shock. "Instead," Velar continued, "I will facilitate a proper introduction between the Confederation and Earth's leadership. The humans aboard this vessel can help arrange this. Afterward, I will accept whatever consequences the Council deems appropriate." Before the Council could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Tela rushed into Velar's chamber. "Ambassador, 3 Earth military vessels have achieved orbit. They're demanding communication and threatening offensive action." "How is that possible?" Velar asked, stunned. "Earth doesn't possess such technology. They've adapted rapidly since detecting your crash. Their military located your shuttle and has been studying the remains. They've somehow modified their existing spacecraft with principles derived from your technology." The council members, still connected via hologram, looked horrified. "This confirms our worst fears," Mex declared. "Technological contamination. The sterilization protocols must be enacted immediately." "No," Velar protested. "This demonstrates exactly what I've been trying to explain. Their adaptability is extraordinary. It makes them dangerous," another council member argued. Velar made his decision. "Tela, bring the Reynolds family to the command center and open a channel to the Earth vessels." On the command deck, Velar stood with Michael, Sarah, and Alex as the main view screen displayed the face of an Earth military commander. "This is General Chen of the United Earth Defense Coalition. Identify yourselves and state your intentions. I am Ambassador Velar of the Galactic Confederation. Our presence was meant to be observational only. An accident led to premature contact. Your observation included a spacecraft with weapons capabilities." Chen replied coldly. "We consider this a potential threat." Michael stepped forward. "General, I'm Michael Reynolds, an American citizen. My family and I have been with Ambassador Velar. They're not hostile. Mr. Reynolds, you're currently considered missing and possibly abducted. Your government wants you returned immediately." "We went willingly," Sarah interjected. "The ambassador needed medical help after his crash." While they spoke, Velar received an urgent private message. Confederation warships had been dispatched to contain the situation. They would arrive within hours. Veller made the most important decision of his long diplomatic career. General Chen, I propose an immediate summit. Your world leaders, myself, and the Reynolds family as intermediaries. We have little time before my superiors take actions I cannot prevent without dialogue. Chen hesitated, then nodded, transmitting coordinates for a secure facility. What followed was the most remarkable 12 hours in Earth's history. Through emergency sessions, Veller met with leaders from Earth's major nations, explaining the Confederation, its protocols, and the imminent danger. The Reynolds family vouched for him, describing how he had come to respect humanity despite its technological limitations. When the Confederation warships arrived, they found not a primitive world in chaos, but a unified response. Earth's leaders had agreed to a joint statement, broadcast on all frequencies. Earth welcomed peaceful contact, but would defend itself against aggression, even from vastly superior forces. The Confederation Council, faced with unexpected unity from Earth and Veller's passionate advocacy, reluctantly agreed to official diplomatic relations rather than containment. Veller would remain as liaison, though stripped of his senior ambassador status. 6 months later, Veller stood on a platform beside world leaders as the first official Confederation embassy opened in Geneva. The Reynolds family stood nearby as honored guests. "You've changed everything," Sarah told him quietly during the reception afterward. "For us, and for yourself." Veller's bioluminescent patterns glowed with what humans now recognized as contentment. "Perhaps we've changed each other. Your family showed me what remote observation could never reveal, the true heart of humanity." "And what is that?" she asked. "Contradiction," he replied with newfound wisdom. "You are simultaneously fragile and resilient, divided and united, primitive and innovative. These contradictions don't make you unsuitable for the galactic community, as the Confederation believed. They make you essential to it." Michael approached, holding a document. "They've approved your request. You're officially Earth's first extraterrestrial resident." Veller took the document, an emotion he had never experienced before welling within him. After 8 centuries of diplomatic detachment, he had found something unexpected on this small blue planet, a home. Not because Earth was perfect or advanced, but because its people had shown him what his own civilization had forgotten, that compassion and courage mattered more than technological achievement. "When I came to Earth," he told the Reynolds family, "I thought I was here to judge if you were ready for the stars. Instead, you showed me that perhaps the stars weren't ready for you." As the celebration continued around them, Veller looked out at the night sky, seeing it now through new eyes. The Galactic ambassador had come to Earth expecting to find a primitive world of little consequence. He was leaving forever changed, committed to bridging 2 civilizations that needed each other more than either yet realized.